everybody. It is a little weird to be here, but I am talking to you all. And I guess I'd say, as I look out at this crowd, I see behind me, I see so many friends and neighbors who have come to show their support, and I am just overwhelmed with gratitude. I see my husband, I see my boys. These guys ground me. They remind me what's important in life, and they give me the support that I need to keep going on really hard days. So thanks to my family for being here, and for each and every one of you for showing up here together today. It means the world. So when I was a kid, I got to spend summers with my grandparents on Old Farm Road in South Burlington. I spent all day exploring the woods, finding bugs in the yard, and swimming in the pond. I got really dirty, and I scraped my knees. And one of my favorite parts was that every summer, my grandmother would give me this tiny little spot in her garden that I could tend all to myself. And I fell in love. I fell in love with the work, with the landscape, with the animals, the culture, and the people of Vermont. And I took time off from college to work right here at Butterworks Farm. I got to chat with the cows, I drove tractor, I sorted beans in the granary right there. And when it came time to plant my roots after graduation, the only place I considered was right here. I felt a deep desire to tend the land with kids like my grandmother had with me, so I started my first school garden at J. Westfield Elementary. In the years that followed, I found community, my favorite spots to swim, and a super handsome and talented guy named Jeff. I found the seasons and the strength and the humility that it takes to build a family here. I found also all of those unique challenges that come with living up here in the kingdom in this way of life that we love. And what began with farmers and kids grew into a commitment to our communities as a whole. I couldn't help myself. I found myself working with friends and neighbors, so many of you that are here with me today, to address some of our common needs. Internet access, childcare, support for small businesses in small towns. And along the way, I got this firsthand look at how Vermont's most rural communities have been underserved by state policies. I realized that I could do my best work for our region from where the decisions are being made for us, and too often without our voice at the table. So when a seat in the House opened up and retiring Representative Sam Young asked me to run, I knew what I had to do. I ran for office to make things better for all of us, not to play party politics or push my own personal agenda. I will push, though, as many of you can attest. Yeah, I don't hesitate to speak up on behalf of Kingdom residents. And sometimes these days when legislators are working on a strategy for a new bill, they'll ask, what is Sims and the Rural Caucus going to say about this? Because by now they've come to know that I'm going to make sure we're considering the impact on everything that we do on rural working families. And it's not just lip service. Thanks to policies we've advocated for, our district now has better internet access, more funding for our schools, less red tape for small businesses, and greater access to affordable childcare. I work to help pass the Forest Future Strategic Roadmap, which will guide investment in the forest economy for the next decade. And now I'm working with my colleagues to push for Act 250 reforms, climate resilience programs, and EMS funding that meets the needs of small communities like ours. I'm pushing for affordable housing. I'm pushing for affordable housing, accessible health care, and to make life more affordable for working families. I'm here today because there's still work to do for the kingdom. How will we make ends meet in this economy? When our kids grow up, will they be able to make a life here? Will they be able to find a home here? What will retirement look like? What will the future for businesses like Butterworks look like? How will our communities evolve without losing what makes them so special? And if I've learned anything in the State House, it's that you all are the ones who know what our towns need. Your values and your voices guide the work that I do. And there's no one who has done this better than Senator Bobby Starr, who has served our rural regions so admirably for nearly 5 decades. It has been such a pleasure to serve alongside Bobby. He's taught me how to build relationships across difference, how to stand up for people who have been ignored, and a few little tricks about how to keep people on their toes in that building. And he is leaving some pretty big cowboy boots to fill. And while I don't own any cowboy boots, I do own muck boots. And I would be honored to carry on his legacy as a fighter for rural Vermont. Ooh. So many of you in the crowd today were with me when I kicked off my first race in 2012. And the difference between this race and my first race is now I know that I'm not alone. We've continued to grow our team with hard work and the kindness of new friends. And I know that I can count on all of you when it's time to knock on doors and make phone calls and hold meet and greets and to make a financial investment, right? I'm running for Senate to amplify our collective voices. If elected, I know that we can do bigger and better things for our communities, that we can drive change on a greater scale. I know that working together, we can make life better for all of us. So let's get to work.